Hey guys, what's up? Somebody give me an audio check, please. Sorry about that earlier. Those of you guys that were here about an hour ago now, I guess. Can anybody hear me? I checked it, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Alright, good. Man, I was getting a little upset there. Stupid OBS, I tell you what, guys. Yeah, if it ain't one thing, it's another when you're trying to do stuff, you know? It is just what it is, I guess. I guess I can't do nothing about it. I ain't gonna complain about it or nothing. Could be a lot worse. Could be complaining about needing something different. Could be complaining about needing food or something, you know? But yeah, that was kind of odd. Actually, it's still not set up exactly how I had it. I had it set up to where it wasn't picking up much of my background noise, but now it actually is. So I had to go shut my fans and stuff off. So hopefully that ain't bothering you guys. Hopefully everything's good. So we're just going to kind of get into it because, well, all what happened earlier. I will say hi to everybody again. And again, guys, I'm sorry that happened earlier. I'm not sure if I hit something when I was setting everything up or what, but I don't know. It's probably some stupid setting I hit or a hotkey on my keyboard that I accidentally bumped or something like that. But anyway, hey E-Rock, what's up? Dennis, that orange star, Tab, what's going on? Brenda, good to see you. Matt Free, good to see you. Tanya, Paula, hey, good to see you. Dennis, that orange star, good to see you. Tracy, Julie, West, Dennis, Susan, and anybody else in there I missed? Daniel, George, Tab, I think I said everybody else in here. Yeah, guys, yeah, sorry about that. So, we are just going to kind of get into it, though, because I, already wasted everybody's time already. So, here's the Schumann, and to talk about the thumbnail, yeah, we've had a couple pretty big filament releases, and let's, what I do, we'll start, well, let me show you the Schumann, then we'll kind of jump around a little bit. The Schumann here, guys, again, the 20 hertz thing is still there. I'm really just not sure what that is. So, I will point it out to you guys. Now, if you guys look here real close, you see how you got very, well, let's just call them symmetrical lines vertically here. That most likely is a tool issue. It's too exact for it really not to be. Hey Hilly, how you doing? Hey Angelo, good to see you back. But anyway, that's just kind of, it's too sequential. And it's like right on it every time. So it's probably most likely that is probably some sort of a tool issue. This, I'm not so sure. Because it's varying in strength. It's kind of coming in and coming out. But it's always staying there now. It's right around 19 to 20 hertz. So that is a little different from the 783 that we see. Now 783 is there. That if that ever goes away, we might have some issues. But yeah. But to address the thumbnail, we did have, and I'll show you guys this real quick to see how I'm talking about, frequency right now. I was just checking out the, we've had a couple earthquakes. I guess I could show you those real quick first before we dive into this. But, they're not real big, but they're not small either. Okay? You got a 5.2, you got a 5.4, a 5, a 4.2, nothing real huge, okay? But some of them are significant size. It's not something we should just brush off, There was one here in Japan too. That was a 4.9, and that was a 4.7. Now I'm gonna turn this on to all earthquakes, and we'll take a look at it. So what you're gonna see here, and the first thing that catches my eye about this one, guys, is the fact that there hasn't been any earthquakes down here for over 24 hours. This is usually a pretty active area. I don't think it's going to, yeah, I don't think it's going to stay that way. So if you're living down here, please be on your guard. You probably already are anyway. But we usually have 3 or 4 of them down here a day. 4 plus usually. 4.0 or plus is what I'm saying. But there's nothing And these are the small ones. I got it turned on as small as it'll go. Nothing's showing up here. So that means that, yeah, that means that things are, it's not moving down here. And that's not normal. There's usually always some activity down through here. Again, I guess it could have spread through the planet, went somewhere else, but there was a 5-7 over here too. Where was it at? See if I can't find it. Well, let's just do it on here. It might have been back too far. But we did have a 5-7 and a 5-4. There it is. That would be Papua New Guinea, right here. Okay, now that isn't so out of the ordinary. I mean, what you guys, just from watching me, you could probably pretty much tell that. This is all normal area stuff. They expect they use over there all the time. That's why the 7.0, even though it was out in the water, it really didn't freak people out the other day. Because this is something they expect. They know this is going to happen over there. So, you know, it is what it is. I seen you guys in there talking about the electrical grid. You know, the new, I'm not even going to go into the whole political, hey, what's up, Mr. Goody? The whole political conversation. But yes, our new man in charge signed some stuff about safety on our electrical grid. That's like a 90-day pause in the extra security that was put in place by the previous person. Yeah, I don't agree with what happened there, obviously, but you know, we can't do nothing really much. It's a 90-day hold, and they're going to reevaluate what they think they need to do. We all know what's going on. Okay, I don't think I even have to say it. Anything that was put in place before is now going to get reversed. There's nothing we can do about it. It sucks. Okay, any of the good stuff that was happening, even if it was going to be a good thing to keep it going, it's going to get stopped just for the fact of who put that in place. I think we all can agree that we're all adults. Whether you liked the man before or not, you have to understand what's going on now is nothing more than just to stop what he did. Whether it worked out good or not. That's exactly what's happening. So, I'll just leave it at that. You know, like I said, I'm not on one side of the aisle or the other. I just look at what I see, and when I see something that's this way, you know, everybody that's ever been in that position for me, I've agreed with and disagreed with on a lot of different things. And that's why I choose not to pick a side. And I think people that do just like go vote a particular ticket and just forget about it, I think that's probably not the right way to do it, you know. You really got to put some effort into seeing what's going on. But, you know, guys, they're all evil up there, okay? Let's just face it. You know, you don't get that high up unless you're stepping on somebody one way or the other. So, but yeah, so I mean, it is one of those things, and we have to choose the lesser of two evils is usually what it ends up being. And unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. And I think it's not just us, okay, guys? It's a worldwide thing. You just don't get to that level without doing some bad stuff. I'm sorry, and I hate to say it like that. It sounds horrible when people talk like that, but it is what it is. And you know, so right now, even if we had good stuff going, and not everything that he put in place was good, in my opinion, but not everything he put in place was bad. But to do a blanket shut everything and reverse everything that he did is ridiculous. You need to find out what worked and keep going with that. But that's not what they're doing. So, we'll keep moving. No more of that stuff. I don't even want to talk about that no more. That ain't what my channel's about, and I'm sure you guys aren't here to hear that. So, but that did affect, the only reason why I brought up that, because you guys were talking about it in the chat, and it does affect, you know, like space weather has an effect on electrical grid stuff. You know, I've always wondered why they hadn't put in place more security as far as beefing up the infrastructure and doing certain things that we can do with our electrical grid to, you know, protect ourselves not only from threats from other people with EMPs and stuff, but the threat from a CME. So that's what I'll say, you know. So that does fall into what we talk about here, because it needs fixed. You know, there's things they can do. And yes, it would cost money, but on the long run, I mean, come on. Let's just be real about it. Yeah, that needs done. So, yeah, and that's why I never hardly get into the political conversation, guys, because I don't have a side that I completely agree with on all points. So I think they're all evil at the core, and a lot of what I see, my own eyeballs seeing, they're all on the same team and they're jockeying for power. And you know, that's just what I see. But I'm going to move on. So we got the earthquake stuff, guys, and you know, like I said, you got all this stuff going on. So why am I talking about earthquakes right now? Well, we had this thing happen at 4 this morning. Every one of these seismos is showing some sort of a signature at 4 o'clock UTC, right down here, and it's global. Okay, I know this one doesn't look too significant, but the other ones do. Everything, look, this one doesn't have one because whatever reason it's not working. But everything, I'll just scan down through here and you guys can see it. All the way down through here. Now typically when we see something happen and it sends all the seismos off, we've had a big earthquake. And that ain't the case this time. So these seismos were showing signatures at 4, all of them. So it's not a tool issue. It was not a gigantic earthquake. So I don't know what did this. All I know is our planet started ringing at 4 o'clock UTC. And it was a low hum. I can tell you that, because this is not a very big signature. Okay, and the other thing I'm finding here, and what really, you know, kind of got me is the Antarctic seen it, and so did the Arctic. So we're talking about North and South Pole, you know, complete opposite sides of the planet. So when you see that, and here the thing of it is, here's what's crazy, is the signature I seen on, you know, in Alaska right here, is very similar to the one that you see in the Antarctic in strength. So usually when we see these things, like we get a big earthquake or whatever, and you see something go through the whole planet globally, it'll vary. You'll see one of them that'll have a higher, it'll pick it up as stronger than the others. This is not the case with this. Everything looks very, very similar. Okay, there's a couple of them here, but there were actually some earthquakes in some of these areas too. But nothing real big. Okay, nothing like a big 7 or 8 or whatever it was. So I don't know what caused that. I just thought it was interesting. I don't really know how to read these seismos all that great. But I can look at a pattern and see that there's a pattern here that wasn't there yesterday. So whatever that means, I don't know. I really don't. Hopefully somebody like, you know, Ron Tyler, Emergency Management Associates, will see this and maybe he'll talk about it. Hopefully maybe, or Dutch, or somebody will see. I don't think Dutch knows how to read these things though. He uses other stuff. Or maybe Ricky will, you know, kind of chime in on this one a little bit too and see what's going on with this. I just thought it was interesting. I do think something probably happened, whether it came from inside our planet or not. And I was looking at the earthquakes that were happening around this time, and if you go down through here and you look, let's go back up here to the time that it was. So right around 4 UTC is about right in here. Okay, it's 3:52. And if we keep going up, you know, you're not seeing a whole lot, right? I mean, we just didn't see a whole lot, guys. And there was a couple like 4s, but then again, you know, the ones that I was seeing up here, they weren't very deep. Like this 5.2, that was a 4. That was only 47 kilometers deep. So that really shouldn't have rung through the planet if this is what caused any of it. That's my point. So something happened there. Something caused that, obviously, but I just don't know. Hey, Rip, what's up, bud? Man, excuse me, guys. Sorry. Kind of threw me off here, guys, with that stupid audio problem I had. I had to fix it. Anyway. So I wanted to show you guys that first and foremost, and then I'll show you guys this too before we get moving. Here's the CMEs, the filament releases. This is the 22nd. This was yesterday. That's the start of it. Okay. We'll go to the next day, which is the 23rd. Well, yeah. So now this is what we got right now. You can see how there was kind of like a double here. This may end up being considered just one. I'm not sure yet. But even if we go back to the 21st, we got one happening on the 21st also. Now these are happening essentially in the same. There was one over here the day before. See, I can go back even one more, and you'll see it happen over here. This is back on the 20th. So we've had CME after CME here again. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on with this, but these are definite significant CME action. Okay, so with that being said, I'll show you what I think is going on with it after I show you space weather here. But we got X-rays. Really, we had a bunch of little popping and flaring here, but now the sunspots have become just a little bit more stable, so we're not seeing as many. And then right here, guys, the solar radiation storms, we're not going to have anything like that going on right now. Nothing showing up on the proton flux. Geomagnetic activity is low. So as far as the raw data goes, everything seems to be pretty quiet. But just to give you an idea, we'll go back over here to seeds for a second. Where did I put that stupid? There it is. I'll take you and show you a stereo A real quick. That's the side view of the sun. That way we have an idea of what direction these things are going. So remember, the satellite's here and Earth is over here. So it looks like it could be coming our direction here, and it looks like it could be coming our direction here. Okay? The Earth is here, but that doesn't mean that this is going that way. It doesn't mean it's going to the right. I do think by judging by, we can look at SDO here, judging by this, I can pretty confidently say that it's coming closer to us than what we've seen in the past. And I'll show you the filaments. There were two filaments that released. Okay? So let this thing boot up and then we'll do our thing here. And so what you're going to be looking for is dark spots, and you'll see they look like little clouds. That was the second one right here. And when this time resets here, you'll see one up here. Watch, see this little cloud right here? See it flip out a little bit, and then the second one was right there. So, we can't really we really can't tell angle here as far as north-south. Also, when this stuff flips from a filament, the point of which it releases is what determines its direction. Okay, because sometimes it can look like it's flipping and going that way. Well, it may have let the plasma go over here. And then kept moving. The rest of it kept moving and it got recaptured by the sun. We've seen that a lot. But sometimes we just, I went and looked at the CME tracker. The CME tracker still hasn't updated. So we had the one back yesterday also was a filament. It was over here. So we've got a lot of filaments releasing. Now this happened back on the 7th and 8th too. We had a couple filament releases over here. Same spot. So I'm not sure if something is actually perturbing the sun over this direction or what. But that's kind of what it looks like to me. So yeah. I'll show you that I'm not going to waste your guys' time on the Magnetosphere models too much here because there just simply isn't much going on. There's a little bit of wave action coming in and going out. This is the speed of the solar wind. Remember, the solar wind is charged particles. and it travels from the sun to the earth on a magnetic connection line. And it's not like regular wind, it's charged particles that move. So, you know, there's just not much to see here. And I do think, and let me show you this, because the CME tracker hasn't updated yet, but Enlil does. The CME tracker is a NASA model. This one here is a NOAA model. It is showing a hump here that wasn't there until those filaments blew off the sun. So what I think's going on, because we're right here in time, it'll take it 2 or 3 days to get here, if not 4. That's probably what we're seeing here. That's probably why this model is saying this. But the model can be wrong, so we gotta wait. I hate to say it like that, but there's not much we can do. I wish I had a better answer for you. But the fact of the matter is, it does look like we have a decent possibility that at least that second one, in my opinion, or the first one, I'm sorry. The first one looked like it could have snapped off at an angle or direction that could be coming at us. I can't say 100% or verify that right now until we see some more data come in. But it does look like it's going to be coming in our general direction, either between us and Stereo B or somewhere thereabouts. We could get a glancing blow, it could come right at us, or it could miss us altogether. Plus we also had, well, here's the solar wind speed itself right now. The density, everything is just normal. I mean, just so normal, it's crazy. But this coronal hole, guys, it's rotating off now, but it was right here. Okay, so they're predicting us, and that could be part of that hump too on the Enlil model. That most likely was right in front of us, so that most likely we connected to that in a way that we will get some solar wind from this. Okay, because the other one, you know, they were predicting maybe a geomagnetic storm yesterday, and it never happened because it was up here on the northern hole, and it missed us. It shot out all that energy, but it missed us. Okay, so you know, there were some predictions. People were saying, hey, we might get to 600 kilometers per second solar wind, all that kind of stuff, and none of that ever materialized. This right here, guys, that's a weird thing that I've never seen. Well, I've seen little blocks of this happen before, but nothing quite that big. It could have been like, because the GOES satellites, they use jets to kind of keep them in position, and every once in a while they'll have to do a little burn or something to get it back into position, and sometimes it'll cause it to do things like this. So I'm not quite sure if that's what's going on there or not, but that magnometer reading right there is kind of crazy looking. So also Jamie Matthews, he sent me an email. I should have downloaded the captures. You guys see the electron content map here? I'll push play here, and what this is just simply showing you the amount of electrons that are in our atmosphere. Okay, see how it went that color real quick? Right there in the middle. I mean, that's kind of significant. But he sent me a couple captures. He was looking at this, and he actually caught a couple of them that were up here in the red. Like the whole map was red. So that's a lot. Okay, I didn't happen to see it. I wasn't online at the time when that happened. But he caught it. Good job, Jamie. I don't know what caused it. I went and looked and stuff, and I didn't see anything. So, but the electron content, even up here, showed that it was on an uptick. Okay, that's what the electron flux is. It's fluctuating. So, I already showed you guys this. You may be able to see the filaments a little better on this. So let's just zoom in here and see if I can't help you guys out with that. Let's let that thing update a little bit. If it will. May not. Oh, come on. Update for me. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it. You can do it. Let's go. Here we go. It's getting ready to start. Okay, so here's one of them. I can see it already, but the other one was up here. I'll try to pause it and just use a slider. Yeah, it's even hard to see on this one. And you're probably seeing this one over here too. That could have been some of it. See how it's kind of whipping around. I think all that got recaptured by the sun though. See, watch it. See how this all went back to the surface. Here's that other filament, but it had erupted before this, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you much there, guys. It's hard to see, okay? When you're looking at these things and things are going to be coming our direction, when you're looking at SDO, it's from our view. So if it's coming our direction, the background's actually going to be the sun. And that's, you know, it makes it hard to see. So yeah. What you got there, Mr. Goody? Yep. That's exactly what's going on here, guys. He's taking you to the maps here. And that's the electron count. Jamie, is that you? I'm sorry. Yeah, it probably is you. I didn't know it was you. Wow. But yeah, this is a deviation from normal. That's what the deviation one means. This is the total electron count. So whatever was being like normal, it really got away from normal. And that's probably why this one kind of went into the middle. Because normal is really kind of down here. So, and this one over here shows anomalies, which would be something kind of out of the ordinary, I would think. So yeah, see that? So we most definitely had something have us, shot a lot of electrons at us. Whatever happened there. It could have been just a quick burst of anything. Anything that's going to shoot electrons, which obviously, charged particles. It's electricity. You got electrons. What's the definition of electricity? The movement of electrons from one one atom to the other. So that's what it is. That's why certain metals are more conductive than others. Here's the Australian model. Good job, by the way. That was a good catch. I didn't catch that one at all. So, hey Rebel, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, this thing's going to fluctuate a little bit. But again, guys, I don't want to waste your time on this because there's not much to see. Nothing much going on with all, right at this second on our planet. Now, this is the geoelectric field model. And this is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. Not much here either. It's bouncing around a little bit, but not a whole lot. So again, things are quiet when it comes to that. But it's going to change here in the next few days, I think. I really do. Here is spaceweather.com. We have 3 official sunspots right now. The one over here on the back side of this bigger one, I think it's probably going to get declassified here in the next day or so. Because it just doesn't look as healthy as what it did. So they may take its number away from it. But we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, they're talking about that, the arrival of solar wind again on the 25th. Definitely could. You guys can read this stuff over here too about they're talking about Sirius. It's the brightest star up there. So it's got like a binary, I think, is what they're talking about here. Anyway, it's got another star that just isn't as bright. There's an alignment going on and stuff like that. So if you're interested in stuff like that, come over here to spaceweather.com and check it out. I read these things myself because, I mean, it's really cool stuff to learn. Noctilucent clouds, guys, still there. Again, what is noctilucent clouds? For people that don't know, it is water vapor that gets high in the atmosphere, highest parts of our atmosphere, and freezes around meteor dust. Now, they only happen in the summertime in each hemisphere, okay? So right now, it's summertime at the South Pole, and that's why they're here. And in about 6 months or 5 months from now, we'll start seeing them on the North Pole. These were about 2 weeks late this year, and that's significant because that points to a temperature change. And there was only 6 fireballs reported. Nothing much going on with the near-Earth objects, guys. I mean, everything's staying pretty far away right now. Nothing new to report there either. They haven't really added or taken away anything here, so that's a good thing. But as far as the earthquakes, like I said, guys, I would be on the lookout down here today. Today, maybe tomorrow, if we don't start seeing some right here fairly shortly, we could see a decent sized one down here. Just my opinion. You know, after looking at some of the space weather we've been getting and all that kind of thing too, that kind of adds to it. Plus, there's a lot of other things you guys can do. So, and go look at. I'm not the earthquake prediction dude, but I know when something ain't there, and it usually is. And I can tell you right now, it's not normal to go over 24 hours without seeing at least some movement down here. Now I've got the settings on all magnitudes, so they're not even seeing any shaking. At least none of the shaking at all is being reported. So take that for what it's worth. But I would definitely be on the lookout for something down here. And then this was just strange to me, guys. Everything happened at the same time globally, and it was not from a big earthquake. So something vibrated our planet right around 4 UTC AM on the 23rd. And it happened, globally. This was not something that just happened in one specific region. So, yeah. So I really don't have a whole lot, and I'm sorry I had to come back on and do it like that. My audio was all jacked up, so I think, hey Jerry, what's up? Muse, how you doing? Daniel, how you doing, bud? So yeah, guys, we'll keep an eye out on the CME stuff right here. We'll see if anything else happens today. I'll probably come back on later on tonight, in the evening sometime, and no, I didn't, Tanya. I looked and nobody else, other people talked about it. Nobody really came up with any good answers on why the X-ray, just dropped out to 0 for a while. So, yeah. Hey, Rip. Did the vibration happen with the electron flux? Well, we started seeing that electron flow. Well, I can look at that real quick. That's a good idea. And there's a flux there. It doesn't look too much, and you're probably talking about this one here. Let's see what time is that? Nah, it happened before. So the vibration happened before. That's a good idea, though. Very good idea to check. So yeah, I mean, things happen like right there, then it kind of just went back to normal and around. So no, when things happen like that, and that are kind of like a VLF, very low frequency, that's really what that was. It wasn't really too strong. Usually that comes from something inside the planet. If it comes from the outside, which definitely it could, if it all happened at the same time, it definitely could. But man, I tell you, I've not seen a VLF do that at almost the exact same time all the way through the planet like that very often. Now I've seen it a couple times, and again, I'm not the earthquake guy. I do understand when they're saying what they're saying, and like I said, really all I can do is show you that, hey, it doesn't usually do this. I wish I had a better answer for you. If Ricky was in here, she might have something to add. I just don't want to. I don't want to say anything that could be wrong. I have my ideas on what I'm looking at here, but I'm not 100%, so I don't want to say that it is one thing or the other. So, and again, I will say this though: usually when we see these kinds of global things, it's from a big earthquake. Yeah, our planet burped for sure. Yep. Rip touches on a good point there. Excuse me, sorry guys. We do build pressure. We'll build energy. We're like a capacitor. It's a big magnet. Okay, so we'll build and build energy, and like a capacitor, when it gets too full, it has to let it go. So yeah, and when it does, sometimes earthquakes can happen. Other things like that can happen. You can actually see it discharge in our magnetopause sometimes. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, so I really wish I had a better answer for that. It really, you know, when I first seen it, I was like, man, that's weird, because I just come over to check them out. I was like, man, everything's happening around the same time. Then when I looked, it was like exactly the same time. So it was just kind of crazy, you know. And like I said, when they all happen almost at the same time, that almost does feel like it could come from outside of our planet. Because if you think about that, it takes time for stuff to vibrate through your planet. You can actually, like when you get a big earthquake, guys, you can actually look at the seismos, and you'll see it. If you plot out your seismos and you look at where they're at geographically, you can actually watch the wave go all the way through the planet. It's pretty crazy. So this all happened at the same time. So it does kind of point to the fact that either something, it's almost like we got jerked a little bit magnetically. That's kind of what I was thinking. But I went and looked at the magnetopause tools and nothing showed up. That's what kind of got me a little confused. So if I find out anything, I'm going to try to text Ron and see if he's got any ideas. Maybe he'll talk about it today on his show. But yeah, guys. Hey, Hilly's got a Bible study he's going to do today, I think. Aren't you, Hilly? You guys want to check out his channel? Go check him out. He does a really good Bible study. Again, me and Rip are going to be getting together and doing a show here pretty quick. I'm still figuring out the stupid OBS stuff. I jacked it all up. That's why I had to do a second stream. Stupid thing. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. Check out Hilly's channel. Check out Rip's channel. You guys will, you guys really will. You'll enjoy both of them. So, God bless. Yahusha saves, and